played. The manner of which he's gone about things, he's really attacked. It's King who's coming back first.
Yes,
no worries,
of course, still out. And the tension is building, actually. It's what we like, isn't it? Not, as you say, just a tiny little bit of edge between these two. Nothing major for sure. But you get to 4-4, and it's a match that now it's got this far, neither player wants to lose, obviously. And we'll be underway quite soon. So Ronnie has kind of taken a toilet break and then popped his head around the door. And now gone out again.
Going to make Mark King wait maybe here before we get this decider.
I just really hope that when Ronnie comes out, Mark doesn't go out again. It'd be getting ridiculous.
Yeah, we have got to play it at some point, haven't we? Tomorrow we've got Stuart Bingham in the morning. That's the early shift, 10 o'clock German time. And then the afternoon match, Mark Selby will be playing Tepchire and New. And then in the evening, the last 16 starts. And of course, plenty of action going on the outside tables as well. Remember, there's always a second table on the Eurosport Player as well. Ryan Day's beaten Mark Allen 5-1. That was the match that was on the Player this evening. Here he comes. Here comes the rocket. Ronnie O'Sullivan, who was 4-1 up, but it's now 4-4. He's getting a good hand, but can he finally put Mark King away? Now, there's usually a handshake before a decider. Let's see if there is one here. There is.
Like it's the deciding frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
So we didn't necessarily think that 4-1 this was going to happen, but this is why we love snooker, because you're never entirely sure what would happen. And we noticed that when Mark King won that ranking tournament in Belfast, because he was, I think, a 250 to 1 chance with the sponsors of that tournament. But he came out on top, so unpredictable things happen. Now Ronnie's got a thin safety shot with the red to the edge of the bunch, but he'll go into the pack in doing so, and he can leave a red on. It's a very aggressive safety shot. You'll be pleased to know it's only the black that went over the pocket, not the red. This was the safety shot that Ronnie played that's made Mark King think about this shot. Now, there's always a chance something will go over a pocket. And like I say, it being the black has made it quite a tricky escape now. Maybe that he's actually going to have a go for this red. There's a lot of pressure on this shot. It's a fine shot, it really is. Hard to see how he could have played it any better than that. Goodness me, what a shot under pressure. So, Mark King, crucially, is in first. But he was playing fairly fluently to get here. But it's always difficult to continue that when you get it down to a decider. So I'm sure he'll think this break it through. compose himself.
Five. Thanks. 6.
That has gone wrong horribly. I don't see how he can continue the break now. Q was always going to be just running across from right to left there without any huge amount of control. Well, he's smiling, but it's one of those smiles that isn't really all that genuine. He's more smiling out of disappointment that he's finished where he has.
13.
Well, whatever happens in this match, and even if he loses now, you'll know that he's had first chance. Lost control there slightly.
Marking.
Yeah, I go
30.
back to what I said. It's a different psychology, isn't it? If you compare it to a sort of running race, you know, if you're chasing the guy in front of you, you know how fast you've got to run to catch him up. But if you hit the front, then suddenly you're conscious of him being on your shoulder. And that was a definite chance for King. And bearing in mind how well he got in there, to make just, what, 13 from it, he'd be very disappointed. Yeah, that's where it went wrong for him. But they're still very much in the balance. Nervy decider. We had our first TV match of the day. Martin Gould was a very comfortable winner, 5-0 over Jamie Jones. It looked like O'Sullivan would go through pretty comfortably as well, but things have turned around pretty dramatically these last 40 minutes or so. Ooh, how costly is that going to be?
Well, no easy starter, Dave. I think that's the one saving grace potentially for Mark King. He just hit this. Well, he had to guide it through a gap. I'm not sure if he hit it too thick or too thin, actually. He might have tried to swing it across wider than that. But it's a rest shot to start with, and we've seen one or two of these missed from O'Sullivan. Played it in such a way that he was going to finish on the blue. It was quite a bold way of playing it, but he overcut it by quite a long way.
He's only potted 2 out of 6 with the rest. Yeah, King a little fortunate not to leave something easier. But I'm sure many people still fancied O'Sullivan there to knock that in.
The opening red he's left is a little straight. He may have just a slight angle, but by no means easy to pot and get onto a colour. Especially where he's queuing. It's looking more and more difficult all the time, this shot. When I first came to the table, I thought, well, it's a great opportunity. The brown is also kind of in his line as well, where his cue is. This will take a very good shot to get from red to colour. Well, he keeps like going under the table looking for more equipment. The extension on the cue and the rest. think he'll stop there. It was a brilliant shot, but again, not perfectly on the colour. I mean, he didn't know exactly where the cue ball was going to finish there, but he could have had a better nudge than he got. I think he's frightened to go down the other end of the table to see if he's on the red or not.
7.
And I think the answer is he's not. Pink being put on the black spot makes things even more complicated as well. And indeed, the fact that the blue is away from its own spot, running this red through, doesn't take him in behind the blue in the usual way. It was dead straight, clearly, on the strength of that. And that's what you had the problem with. And the fact that the blue was away from its spot, as I was saying, made that even worse, because he would have just rolled it in and finished short, potted the blue, as he's done thousands of times during his career. But blue was further down the table than where it usually is. And he was straight on the red. An absolute mile away, it really was. And I must say, not played with the usual conviction that you'd expect from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Kind of half played it, and he played it with a little bit of fear, it seemed. Quite amazing, Dave, isn't it? It's been a very fluent 8 frames, and then we get to a decider, and it turns into a scrap, as we've seen all our snookering lives, matches like this.
Well, as Jimmy would put it, Shredsville, the nerves are showing, as they well might. It's been high quality, really, as you say, first 8 frames, but now we're down to the wire. It's all about this frame. King in again, but 1 is all he's going to score.
Marking 1.
Well, certainly the red that's up to the table on the right there comes into play. If he's not careful on this shot, you could hit it playing safe. He's avoided that happening. That's a good shot from O'Sullivan. Okay, there is a red attempter to the left corner, but that is not the kind of shot Mark King really wants to play at this point. Well, that was a serious mistake. And has he left anything easy? He may have been a little fortunate, actually. Certainly, I think he's covered the 2 reds to this pocket that he's missed the red into. Ronnie's eyes lit up when he saw the ball's coming to rest. Quite amazing that you can be left with something so awkward as this. I think he's probably going to end up playing the red to the left corner, because nothing else is very easy, but he's under pressure with the red up the table that he'll leave if he misses. I think Mark got a bit fortunate to have left that. He sensed the pressure that Ronnie was under.
Yeah, absolutely. King was fortunate, but O'Sullivan is feeling it, that's for sure. OK, that wasn't over the hole, but he's missed quite a few of those sort of shots tonight. So Mark King, who just had a howler of a shot last time he was at the table, now has a chance here. He's 17 in front in this decider. There's a gasp in the audience when O'Sullivan missed that red. Certainly could have been left an easier one.
One.
Well, that is not a good shot either. He may be on the pink, but goodness, the pressure really is on for this shot. This is a missable one now. It's very tense.
Well, again, you know, they shout, "Go on, Ronnie," but it's awkward, this, with where the pink is.
Oh, that was good fortune. Goodness me, that really was. I mean, he's missed this and he's left the pink, hampering Ronnie on the red. And it's quite amazing. So Ronnie has gone back to his chair for some reason. I don't know quite why that was. There is a red to the middle, which he has good centre ball cueing on. But I think even someone as great as O'Sullivan, with all those Grand Slam events, 7 Masters, 5 Worlds, 5 UK Championships, is feeling this moment as much as any of those. That's a starter.
Yes, he's in. Now, what damage can the great Ronnie O'Sullivan do here?
Well, it was extraordinary that he won the Masters, given that against Lian Wenbo,
7.
He had a black that he would probably pop 9 out of 10 to beat him 6-4. Right now,
8.
It feels a little bit like that, doesn't it? That he's vulnerable here again today, and who knows if he can get through this, maybe he'll go all the way again.
Do you know what, though? I think one of the differences with that match you've mentioned and this one is the dynamic with the players, because he's a big pal of Lian Wenbo. He really likes him. I'm not saying he doesn't like Mark King, but they're not
15.
best friends, that's just a fact. And they both really want to win this. All the history between them over a couple of decades has come to the fore here this evening.
Well, it certainly made it a spicy one for us neutrals, that's for sure. It's something we've enjoyed. I've enjoyed this match. I almost enjoyed the way that it's developed into this last frame. Because it's
22.
very thick retention, even in this 5-table setup, and it was all because not so much of this shot, which he did miss, but the one before where he ended up there. Wow, that is just.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 22.
If you wondered about the tension in the match, that's it. Off the black spot, that is regulation.
Incredible, really is. Four points in it then.
One.
Just think sometimes if you're conscious of who you're playing rather than just playing, it can only really be a negative. If that's a factor here, then that could explain it. But anyway, it's in Mark King's hands now.
Yes, he held himself together remarkably well in that deciding
7.
frame in Belfast, beating Barry Hawkins 9-8. Biggest frame of snooker of his life. It's not quite like that, but
Yeah, sure.
he is able to compose himself when he needs to. He's experienced himself.
Just 3 tables going now here. Ricky Walden still 3-2 up. Plenty of fans. It's quite late here, by the way. German time, it's 10 to 11, but plenty of people still here wondering what's going to happen. Peter Ebden's come back to 4-2 from 4-0 down against Tom Ford.
Well, he almost held the spot there. Don't know if he'd have tried to do that. That must be a tight one, Marcel Eckhart, because of course you're not allowed to put it on the spot and it's touching the cue ball. That would mean it would have to go on to the highest available.
14.
Well, if Ronnie O'Sullivan is
15.
beaten here, he can't really use any excuse because he was right in amongst them in this frame, and the pink on the black spot he missed was one of the easiest shots I think I've seen him miss under pressure in his long career. But, of course, it's not impossible. There could be another twist.
21.
2 reds, 2 colours. And Mark King to get over the line from 4-1 down.
First time King beat him was a decider, and the last time he beat him was a decider. It's been 11.5 years since he beat him at the UK Championship. You feel really it's all about getting on this red now.
Well, he's played it pretty well.
26.
It's obviously a shot that could still be missed, but he can play it dead weight because he knows the cue was going to come out onto probably the pink, high-value colour anyway. So it's all about, if he gets the potting angle right, playing it slowly here. And it's just drifted in and hit the near knuckle.
Marking 26.
With the nap, we saw 1 or 2 pull in like that, and the potential for a further twist. Definitely dropped down a little bit. And of course, your eyes are immediately drawn, if you're an O'Sullivan fan, to the fact that the black is a little awkward. Should the clearance start to happen. Well, 1 or 2 oohs and ahs, but there's no way Ronnie could pop that.
So 22 points in the decider, 35 on.
Just a chance here that Ronnie could develop the black in playing the safety shot, but he has to be careful the red doesn't go to the left corner. Now, you're getting some applause, but Mark King has got a shot to nothing red here, which if it goes in, probably wins him the match. pressure was off slightly on that shot in that he was always going to finish safe, but it was still beautifully played.
Yes, we said right at the start that Ronnie O'Sullivan was a different player to when they were playing their previous times, but the same is true of Mark King, because he's a tournament winner now, and we've seen that confidence tonight. O'Sullivan needs a snooker here. He's not going to get the chance for them, and this is a great comeback and a big upset. Ronnie O'Sullivan has just won his 7th Masters title. At 4-1, he looked a certainty, a nailed-on certainty to win this match. But Mark King started to throw everything at him. Breaks a 93.77. He won the 8th frame. A very nervy decider.
17.
O'Sullivan missed that pink off the black spot when he had a good chance to win. And it's Mark King who's going through to the last 16. That's a great comeback from Mark King, and he sends out the newly crowned Masters champion in round 1 here in Berlin. What a thriller on day 1 at the Tempodrome, and what a great result for Mark King. He really earned that. He played so well. He was so positive coming back from 4-1 down. I think he enjoyed that because he's beaten Ronnie O'Sullivan here by 5 frames to 4.